戻りたいですよね。でもちょっと待っててください。
私どもは WRC の道に再び戻らさせていただきたいと思います。ラリーはお客様が日常を使う道を舞台に日常を使う市販車をベースとした車で争われます。その道も舗装路や泥道、雪道などあらゆる表情を持っており、人と車を鍛え上げるためには最適な舞台だと実感いたしました。オーストラリアやフィンランドなど私自身もさまざまな道を走らさせていただきました。その中で強く感じ頭に浮かびましたのは、道が人を鍛える、人が車を作るという言葉でした。フィンランド滞在中、多くの方々からトヨタはいつラリーに戻るんだという声もいただきました。かつてトヨタが WRC に参戦していたこと、そのことがまだ多くの方の記憶に残っていることに驚きと感謝の気持ちがあふれました。この記憶が消えないうちにトヨタはここに戻ってこなければいけない、そう強く感じるようになりました。もっといい車を作るため、そして多くの方々に笑顔になっていただくため、その思いで私どもは WRC の道に再び戻らさせていただきたいと思います。
Our target is to make a good feeling team, which is really good team spirit. Everybody give their full effort for the project, and that's basically our main target.
It's the bond between the guys, the trust towards the project, that we are definitely making something unique here and something special. I think that's the main thing, that everybody feels that we are like one family, one team.
They know my background very well, that I was there for winning, and I'm sure that everybody knows what we want to do and everybody have the same target.
Tomi Mäkinen is one of the most successful WRC drivers in history, winning the championship 4 times in the 1990s. He retired in 2003 and established Tomi Mäkinen Racing, the aim to prepare rally cars and provide support to drivers. In July 2015, Toyota decided they wanted to return to the championship. But with little over 500 days until the first event, it would be a huge challenge.
Luckily, I knew Tommy well enough before he spoke it to me that, well, it sounds quite a big thing, but coming from Tommy, it can be actually true. There can be something, but if it was someone else, I would have maybe turned around and yeah, right, that's it. But when it came from Tommy, you need to listen. That's he has big ideas.
Rallying used to be my world. When I retired, we started Tomi Mäkinen Racing. I wanted to see the be on the level where I was when I was driving on the top, and of course that would be the dream to do the same from this side.
It was so top secret that you didn't really know exactly what you were signing up for at that point. But talking with Tommy, I was confident that the project was coming here and that it was going to be a proper project that had all the backing needed to come to the championship with a chance of certainly winning rather than just taking part, which is really what interested me.
I know what we need, and I know that what it means to be fast with the car. I know that what it means to be the number one team. I have seen the world from the both sides of windscreens.
4 times world champion Iceland. That allowed the car. That allowed the car.
Okay, Toyota love cars. He likes to drive. He used to drive in Nürburgring and different circuits, and then he started to do some rallies in Japan, and I think it was slowly becoming his bigger interest, and that was the moment also when we started discussing about the project.
Toyota about motorsports is we needed motorsports to build up ever better cars, because the atmosphere of the motorsports is very tough. A very tough road, always competition. Through the test course, we can't find any issues or any problem to solve. But those kind of activities, I can find many issues or many problems to fix it. That's why we needed those kind of endurance or this kind of rally type of motorsports.
1999 marked the end of 25 years' continuous rally activity for Toyota Motorsport. During that time, they achieved 43 victories with iconic cars like the Corolla WRC and Celica twin-cam turbo and GT4 variants, along with star drivers such as Didier Auriol, Carlos Sainz and Juha Kankkunen. Toyota was synonymous with dominance of the African Safari Rally in the 80s. Much of Toyota's success came in the 1990s, during which they won 4 drivers and 3 manufacturers' world championships.
We met over 2 years ago, first time.
Nice to meet you. How did you?
Very much enjoying
Very honored to meet you.
We went down to Hokkaido to do some ice driving training, and we started discussing about the rallying.
When I met you, is kind of I'm really interested about rally. So you taught me how to drive. You taught me fun to drive. You taught me to build a ever better car. So my mood is kind of to go to the WRC challenge again.
Okay, this condition it's better to try to find some grip.
Oh.
If it is many, different lines, not ideal line. And go straight, completely go straight. Yes, good, and let it coming here. You make it more round, and now just turn in already, turn in. Nice, very good.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Immediately we felt pretty warm, and we decided there to build up one special vehicle.
I asked him to make car for me, and that's the red one.
Tomi built Akio a Toyota GT86 rally car, and later they drove a stage of Rally Finland, an experience that would further enhance the desire of Akio and Toyota to return to WRC competition.
Maybe I am the only person I could see the WRC with this sight. With Tomi Mäkinen and the real course and the fantastic.
He's becoming more interested about the rallying after that. Just started slowly going forward, and finally then we found a way to go forward with the project.
Toyota is a company to make cars, and Toyota's responsibility to make fun to drive vehicles. That's why that's the first priority to me, to do the things related to the vehicles. And also, I love cars, so don't worry about this.
Because of Toyota, there was quite a lot of interest all over the world, and very quickly I succeeded to find good people and started very smoothly and nicely.
First, we needed to find technical people to start the design of the car, and not thinking too much about the skills of designing a car, but to build up a good atmosphere in the team, so have a good characters, nice people around us.
The time frame to put together a World Rally car was just about enough. But the time frame to put together a World Rally car, starting from a very small group of people and a very limited amount of facilities, that's really what made it such a big challenge.
My title is Sporting Director. I spent quite a lot of years in WRC business and know quite a lot of people there, so it was quite obvious that we used my contacts to find people to work here. Tommy is a character in rallying, in a way, yeah, he was one of the reasons, but maybe the biggest one is still the challenge to start something completely new. Especially I knew on that point that I'll be part of attracting people here and part of building up the atmosphere here. That was very, very sounded challenging for me and intriguing in a way.
Jarmo Leightonen's done a fantastic job in finding people to build this team. Jarmo's had good input from some other people that have joined the team who know people that they've worked with in the past, and different people have given ideas of, hey, I know this person, they're really good at this, they're looking for a new challenge, and everyone has had a role in bringing new talent to the team.
I think I was the employee number 7 or 6 when I came in, and then we started to think about who we want to get into our design team.
The first contact regarding this project was through Jarmo. Tommy wanted to build the best possible car to go to the championship and be fast and with the aim of winning rallies and winning championships.
Hi, I'm Simon Carrier. I'm Chief Designer. Essentially, any design work that's done at all on the project comes through me, so I direct the design and I approve anything that is designed for the car. So between myself and the chief engineer, we more or less create the concept for the project, and then my job is to turn that from a concept into finished designs that get sent out to manufacture.
So I'm a senior designer. My role is designing, obviously, the chassis of the WRC car, and I'm mainly focused on the suspension system, steering system, and I also work with the gearbox and engine integration in the engine bay. It's not good for Simon to, tell, oh, I want it like this, like that, and he ended up doing all the job. And I kind of became his right hand, basically, because obviously he cannot design the whole car on his own.
I've been a fan of the WRC for a long time. The first time I ever went to a WRC rally was in 1998. I immediately knew that I'd like to be involved in this. More than like, I want to be involved in this. This is fantastic. What these people are doing with these cars is remarkable. And when I heard the idea behind the team and how Tommy wanted the team to be structured and what he was trying to build, it was a great opportunity to, from that dream in 1998 of seeing the cars and saying, I want to do that, to finally getting there.
We were very lucky with the people we managed to get involved in the project very quickly. So everybody had the same enthusiasm. Certainly in the first 6 months, I don't think anybody had a day off. We were working in the design office here 7 days a week, all hours. And that's really the effort of all those people coming together that made it possible.
We're using some components, we were cooperate with their designers, and I would say at the same time easily 50 designers were working with the project to make it possible.
We just grew as necessary, and when we were designing the car, there was no one here who could have built it. And then the parts started arriving and we employed the people to build it and really just got all the right people at just the right time as we went along. I was in Finland at Tomi Mäkinen Racing. We were making a World Rally car and it was obviously for Toyota, but I didn't want the pressure of thinking that, so I just deleted that part of it from my head completely and just concentrated on making a World Rally car, not necessarily a Toyota.
You drove the car. What was your first impression about the car?
First of all, before I drove, I'm not sure if I can drive. Maybe the car tell me you are not ready to it. But I could enjoy with my abilities. So I really exciting about that car.
Tommy's everyone's boss here. He's in charge of the whole team, so he communicates directly with the directors of Toyota, and he has a very good relationship with them. So I think they know that we work slightly differently on a day-to-day basis, but when it comes to official reporting and budgeting and all the things that have to be done, we work to the same agreement and level.
Tomi has a lot of passion and a lot of commitment to be excellent. In order to be world champion, as he was multiple times, you have to have an intense desire to achieve something. You can't just say, hey, if it happens, it happens. You will never win a championship if you take that approach. You have to create everything necessary for that championship to happen.
We would like to be a team which could be fast, smooth, efficient in different areas.
It was actually very difficult at first to get my own head around how it worked, because I've always come from a very structured team, and certainly coming from the nuclear industry, that was extremely structured. Everybody did exactly what they were told. Here we work very much more as a team. Everybody's very close. Everybody has ideas. Once you get that all together and understand everybody's motivation and influence that they can put in, it's a very good way of working.
Tomi has selected very carefully some good people to run the business side, to run the sporting side, to run the engineering side, to run the workshop, to run all the different areas of the team.
I come to work, around me is always people who are here for a reason. They are not here just for a job because I needed to come. Everybody here is because they wanted to come. That's a big motivation for me to be here.
Tomi has created a very open, a very productive team. And for me, that's been brilliant.
We started our own culture. It can be more efficient.
It was decided to be built in Europe. First it was Cologne in Germany. And then when Tomi came into a picture, I don't know if they wanted us to be in Finland, but that came with Tomi, and then it was kind of, why not?
Puupula is 3 hours north of Helsinki in Jyväskylä, Finland. With a population of a little over 1,300, it sits in stark contrast to the global scale of Toyota with 340,000 employees.
This is not a strange situation for us. Perhaps Finland is a little far compared to just direct neighbors from Germany, but no big thing. This gave new technical direction and team principal Tomi Mäkinen. So I think clear cut made, and we just learned how to adapt and how to develop our engine with this new situation.
If you have people coming from a different country, wherever he is living and wherever the company is, they are away from home.
Yeah, a lot of guys, some of them sold their apartments. Some of them left their wives in another side of the world. But then again, the binding thing is the fact that they are enthusiastic to make a winning rally car.
As the season fast approached, there was still the question of the driver lineup. By coincidence, Volkswagen dramatically pulled out of the championship, leaving Jari-Matti on the open market. Tomi and the team were quick to secure him as a driver.
When we went to Puupola, I could see that it's quite let's say that the facilities, they are quite small, but I was impressed all the equipment what they had and how well they had organized all the things, even though it was not big.
Jyväskylä area is not pretty good. There is a lot of like high-end industry. We have those big paper mill factories and tractor factories, so there is a lot of kind of machining and electronics is quite on a good level around Jyväskylä area, so you can find easily suppliers.
We run a full hydraulic system on the car, and a lot of that work has been done by guys who are trained working with tractor hydraulic systems. So it's not really been a big difference for them to transfer over to our industry. So
there's some very advanced engineering going on that we've managed to adopt those facilities to use for motorsport applications, because ultimately good engineering is good engineering.
When I started in the 4th of January, there were actually, I think, 4 or 5 other people that started on the same day that I did. And they were focusing on the design of the car. The car being the central point that the entire team is built around, needed the longest time to be made ready.
Before you can make any decision, we have to get the road car CAD data on the computer screen and start looking over that to see what opportunities there are to develop it from there.
positioning of major components so that the ride height could be run as low as possible was one of our major targets from the start. It involves the position of the engine, the position of the crankshaft, and once you get involved in that, that's then obviously the position of the transmission, the drive shafts, the axles, and really that laid down the whole basis for the car was making sure our concept would allow a very low ride height to be run even in rough conditions.
There's almost nothing it bears in relation to the road car other than the shell shape and the shell structure. From there on, the car is entirely re-engineered from the ground up.
What is left is main structure, let's say the roof, the B-pillar, the floor, the chassis legs. We changed the rear panel for the tank and the boot. And there is some extra features that are welded onto it. We just make everything bespoke on the shell. I think we have something quite different compared to the other competitor, and also the technical director will say that we've been really aggressive on this side. Some people will say that the aero might get damaged during the event, but we spend a lot of time on the wind tunnel with the aero guys to make sure we have an efficient and well-balanced aero.
If you take any of the fast rallies we've got, Finland, Poland, these kind of places, I think the aero package will make that even more spectacular. For us, it's a very exciting area of development, and one of the things that we wanted from the new cars was exciting cars to watch.
For me, the aero package in the car is one of the strengths of the Yaris. I mean, the faster you go, you feel the more grip you have. I mean, all the time on the roads, the faster I go, I feel more confident because it just sits on the road so well.
We have one designer here that was collecting the data and sort of making it on the car basically, because they give some surfaces, but then you need to be able to bolt it on the car all together. So it's the same thing. It's not a one-man job. It's a sort of group of people that has specific area and they all have to work together.
I was just bringing up the different way of building, different way what I have seen in the past, and I think it was generally quite a lot question over trust, and they could see that we are ready to give our full effort to make it happen.
They had the trust for Tommy that he will do the job, and I could really see, for me, I could see it really clicks together. Japanese and the Finnish people, I would say we are humble, and that's what connects these two nations.
Certainly there's been a lot of pressure on myself, but there's also been a lot of pressure on everybody, and I think the key for me being able to cope with it was really just looking for the final aim and not trying to take day-to-day problems too much to heart.
There's been a clear direction, and it's been successfully following that direction. So we've realised from the outset that we had this mountain to climb, and to go from nothing with a handful of people to a fully functioning World Rally team, it was going to take a lot of investment, but also a lot of effort and time to pull everything together and make everything work cohesively as well. It's not just a case of spending a lot of money and expecting the money to solve your problems. It's certainly not as easy as that.
We keep everything very open, so we try very much to avoid having different levels of personnel, so a technician through to engineering through to management. We all work under the same conditions.
Instead of one person looking after 10 different things, now we have 10 people to look after that, share that work. And that's meant that we've all grown in capacity, we've all grown in how far we can move forward each day. So our progress has gone up dramatically in the last 3 months.
It went really well when we started building the car first in March. The part were getting bit on together without that much issue. Nothing critical that put some delay in the build of the car.
We have to be very flexible. We at the moment we are building the prototypes, and then at the same time we go for test program, massive test program. Then later autumn we start building again some more rally cars for 2017 season. But from 2017 onwards we don't build any more cars, and then we need to be able to move the people to do another project, and that's why we need very professional people for different areas to be able to be flexible enough to do that, because it's nothing really, this is not a constant industry, it's kind of a project which has to be big number of flexible people.
It is that you have the right people doing the right job, and then he trusts the people he has and give their job to do the things, and he trusts that you do this area, you do that area, and then it all comes together at the end. In the team, everybody can put their input and everybody have ideas, and then I think it's the way when you will make the really good team.
Still, I smile many mornings when I drive down the road here, coming into a farm, and then you come into the cage, and what you find inside is really high-end technology and really nice atmosphere team at the moment. It's kind of like a micro world here in the middle of fields. It's an amazing feeling when you're driving through the gate.
Every day there's some different aspect that has to be engaged in, and some new process that has to be created, something that didn't exist the day before, that within 24 hours, okay, now we have a way of how we're going to do this. And of course there's refining over time. The first pass at something is rarely ever the final product, but again, with a good team of people collaborating, you can come up with a great idea, test it, refine it, develop it.
I understand that you have good days, you have bad days, because everybody's pushing and want us to succeed as soon as possible. So there will be collisions, I would say. Different personalities, enthusiastic personalities, you can't avoid to have an argument sometimes. But that's life, that's normal. I would be worried if there is not, then our people are not passionate enough.
We have to make the transition from development into a final product that we have to put our stamp on and say, this is the car that we're going to use for the next several years. We're moving into that period of time where we're going from ideas and creating to we have to get it done, we have to finish it, and get it into the process of where we start to use it.
On the Friday Rally Finland, we've got our test car one. We'll be doing what you may call passenger rides. That's a bit of a nerve-wracking time for us because there's a bit of a rule with technology that VIPs and technology doesn't mix, because as soon as the VIP turns up, the technology tends to stop working.
From our side, it's really good to see how much they want to be involved to this project, and it gives us even more motivation.
They're here really, I think, a lot of them primarily to get an understanding of what rally is. They're going to see the stages and the service park and really understand exactly what it is that Toyota is going back into.
There's been so much talk about philosophy, Toyota making ever better cars, and how Tommy's philosophy fits into that. And I believe that's the biggest thing what the high executives want to see, is the atmosphere inside the team.
Be one area taken to the normal road car production.
Then we have most of the time our overall mass is as low as possible.
If this fails, we cannot bring the car to the service.
Very good.
It's very important. Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We jump to the car, and
I need to be very careful because important guest and my boss is beside me, and it is better to be careful. Hey, still we have a boss. He didn't get heart attack.
Good driver.
No
champion.
Very smooth.
Sekuntia, kun Jyskälä lähestyy vasta kuitenkin.
I think our engineering effort and the passion that drives us our engine to even better engine.
of course, our target was to build the team which is all together in Japan, ourselves, and Germany. It was the question, of course, to use their knowledge on engine areas, and because they had facilities and all this knowledge and experience from that area, it was very natural.
We have various development groups to talk about each fundamentals of the engine, like friction topics and so on and so on. Sometimes we fight because opinion to opinion crushes, but this is part of the fun and game that we try to put better idea and try to make better idea into the engine. And I hope then a result is this will help to make the better car.
Current race engine or race intended engine, the first prototype started to run in last year in December. It's important that the engine keeps pushing the car and pulling the car. There are various inputs made as a request to be part of the car integration. And these requests changed direction of development. So these are all the challenges that we are squeezing into the testing.
There are some parts of this homologated engine that must stay for 3 years. So this 3 years fixed part is very critical, and we need to make sure that the right decision is made. When there are certain issues that needs to be discussed as a team level, different spec introduce or performance upgrade, for example, these are the key topic that we need to share because influences the cars running. If there are different opinions, and then who will decide is team principal Tomi.
Onko tää vähän, mä haluaisin pikkasen.
The engineer inside me was worried about all the mechanical bits that were turning and remembering how we designed them and the bits we weren't 100% sure on and should it be like this or should it be like that. And I could see all those mechanical bits and thinking, okay, there's a couple of people in this car, they're about to drive up the road and we designed the steering for it and all those kind of, so I was kind of overwhelmed with engineering decision worries. But once I'd seen it go up and down a couple of times, I was just really pleased to see Tommy's reaction to the car, first of all, because we can make a car that turns wheels and drives up and down. That's not a big issue, but for someone who's won the number of championships and rallies that Tommy's won in the past, to drive a car that we'd designed and have a smile on his face and say the steering feels nice and the suspension feels about right, and for him to have no major complaints about anything was really positive and like a massive bonus to everyone involved. So it was a really good moment.
The car was good, fast and reliable pretty much out of the box, which I was really pleased with. Because very often, the first time a car runs, that's when you find the big disasters that can set you back weeks or even months sometimes to completely review some big aspects of the car. But we didn't have any of that at all. The car just ran, and virtually from day one, we were able to then start taking development forward and making really good progress with the performance of the car.
I was sitting in a car with Tommy together, and that feeling, I was almost in tears to see. For me, it was a sensation, and to see how Tommy felt about it. That was a moment I'm definitely gonna remember the rest of my life.
But now we are back, and we've been busy training up in Finland under the leadership of four-time WRC champions, Tomi Makkinen.
Of course, it was an incredible feeling. So many people around, and first time officially showing the car. It's of course you can imagine what it is. It was an incredible feeling.
Thanks for Japan to find that kind of good cooperation with Microsoft. It can wake interest with new fans to be following us, and it gives huge opportunities to improve the overall sport.
My role here at Toyota GAZOO Racing is coordination and logistics of the team, the people, the equipment, and the cars. We're going on every event this year. We have a team of about 5 of us that are going to each of the championship rounds this year, and we're looking at all aspects of the rally. So there's part of the team is doing the actual reconnaissance that the other drivers are participating in, looking at the stages, taking video of the stages, writing their notes for the stages in advance of next year, so that we already have a database of information, so that when the team arrives, they have a ready-made package for them, and we're not stumbling through things and trying to figure things out that we could have learned this year. This year, our focus is on testing. We have quite a number of tests, both in Finland and in Europe. We have 3 different test teams that cover those tests. We find a Toyota dealer. We find someone who is a friend of the team to leave the equipment at their place. Helps us a lot not to have to bring it all the way back to Finland every time.
Tommy's phone call came, I think it was 4th of December, and then when he said, well, now everything seems to be okay, we have confirmed it with the Japanese, so we can start testing. And I said, I can come next day, I can come tomorrow to Puupola to meet you. And we went on the 5th with my co-driver. We drove straight to Puupola and get everything sorted.
So at the moment we've got test car 1, which is our Finland-based development car, so that stays here all the time. We've got test car 2, which has been running in Europe, and that's just returned from Portugal. And we've got test car 3, which is currently being built. It's due to be finished very soon. And test car 3 will be a gravel car, which will go back to Europe to continue gravel development. Meanwhile, test car 2 is being changed into a tarmac specification to start our tarmac development program.
From my side, we have a great team here. There's about 4 people that work together to coordinate these tests. Work on logistics for these Finland tests is quite simple, and we have lots of great roads very close to Jyväskylä. We also have then testing in Europe. We're testing in places like Spain, Portugal, France, and Germany, and we have to get road permissions. We have to do the same type of jobs, but they're a little more complicated because it's further away.
Obviously, the whole idea of having a test and development program is mainly to find the things where you need to improve. If it came straight out of the computer working first time, then for sure you'd be worried because life doesn't work like that.
Once the engine is on the car, we cannot provide more power except minor tuning to extract what engine can do. But drivability development is something that can be done at the end only on the car with driver's input. And these all running in different conditions, different countries, hot, cold, and so on. This is providing all sort of input that we cannot simply do on dyno.
Every time we find an issue or a problem, for us that's good news because if we find it now, it means that there's less chance we're going to find it in Monte Carlo or Sweden or somewhere where we haven't got the opportunity to fix it anymore.
We knew before we started testing that we don't have so much time, so for sure we need to drive and drive and drive. And that's big benefit what we have now here in close to Jyväskylä, that we have so lot of good test roads really close to workshop, so we can drive with quite short planning, and that helps a lot.
First drive I started very carefully, very slowly, and then I increased the speed and tried to get the feeling. So my first instinct was there is a potential. And I did call Tommy. Tommy asked me, can we make a car? I said, there is potential. Yes, we can make a car. Good job. Then we just need to start working.
Jostain syystä se ei lyökkää kakkosta päälle.
Something is that doesn't give us
it doesn't
the
make sense.
right information at the moment.
It doesn't make sense.
Some of the issues were very tough on the mechanics at the start because obviously to change a transmission system is quite time consuming. Some of the engine related problems meant the engine had to come out of the car and go back in again. So we were running tests in Europe where the engine was fitted on several occasions and removed and refitted, which results in extremely long days.
I think most of the initial problem was limited to outside the engine, installation related, so some details required to run the car and fix it.
Basically, we noticed very early that car was immediately working pretty well. Reliability was straight away pretty good level, and we didn't have such a big dramas. Of course, there's been quite a things to improve, but that's the target of our test program. Once I did myself one little mistake on tarmac and crashed the car. We needed a few days for prepare it again, but not too many times. Mostly just for rebuilding the cars.
We are happy where we are, bearing in mind that the car is just newborn. It's very early phase, but still it's it's all the time drivable, no pieces falling off, and the performance is surprisingly good level straight from the drawing table, and it's a really good like a base to start to build a winning rally car.
We really didn't want to put any compromise into this car, despite the fact it was made so quickly. We wanted to have the first car as something that was close to the World Championship winning car that we're aiming for.
First time when I sat in the car, feeling was straight away good, and everything, you know, handling and these things, general things felt good, and we were able to go basically flat out from the start, and not so big technical issues, just the small ones. And we have been able to adjust the car, you know, to do the settings and change the setup, and to see how well the car is reacting for the changes. So we are, even as we all know, schedule is quite busy, but it's not so bad situation.
Our next challenge really is to put together those rally teams. We need to have an engineer and a group of mechanics that are working coherently together to put that car through what's needed for an event, which is a very different scenario to testing. In testing, if you have a problem in service, you've got as much time as you need, it's no problem. In the rally, if you've got a 15-minute service, you've got no time for mistakes. So your routines have to be down, and everybody has to know what their job is and what's expected to get that done in the time frame. So that's really what we need to start doing very shortly.
Biggest challenge is to get the car competitive, yes, but also we are not even close to be ready as a team, like all the facilities for the service park and not all the race mechanics are not still here, and the same thing continues, and time is running short, so it's getting busier and busier, but we all like challenge. It's not too bad.
It's been really, really hard work. I think I've worked harder on this project over this last year than at any other time in my career.
I've never counted days. For me, it's more like before summer you need to do that. Before midsummer you need to do that. Before end of summer you need to do that. It's, for me, the number of days is meaningless is quite a strong word, but you just need to make longer days if they are running out. For me, it's more challenge of get things done, not count days.
There's been so much that has been achieved, and it's almost a mountain to climb that has been climbed over this last year.
I have a feeling, very strong feeling, that we can be even better than many people expected.
I have to admit that a little bit nervous. I have been waiting this for a long time, and now it's so close.
New period of life sort of starting when we turn the door open.
Please welcome Jari-Matti Latvala, Miikka Anttila.
I always wanted to be in this position. I'm with Toyota because I started my career with Toyota.
Jari-Matti is one of the fastest drivers in the world, and of course we are looking for good results as soon as possible.
Biggest challenge has been to find the people to build up the team. It's a huge thing. I don't know. If somebody asked me to do it again, would I be happy to do it again? I don't know. I have to say, I feel like crying. It's like the pressure is kind of, in a way, easing up. Okay, I know now the job starts, but this has been kind of the pre-season. Game is over now. Now we are real.
There's so many unknowns, so many things that we can't do anything about next season until we actually get there. But if we take care of the things that we can do now and do a good job on those things, I think that gives us the best chance of success next year.
Next year is our very important year because last 18 years we are out of WRC, but we now are ready to come back because I met you 3 years ago.
Suuri Kasperi, sinä olet suuri johtaja.
Sinun täytyy oppia joikaamaan.
When I met you is kind of I'm really interested about rallies.
That moment was very, very exciting. We couldn't, because we didn't know at all where the others, where we are standing. It was absolutely the moment to wait and see. And well, shakedown day was a bit not really telling everything, because that was the question of safety tires, and condition was so dramatically changing. But the first stages on Thursday night was absolutely amazing.
When I came in Monte, there was still things here and there the day before the event, but then they managed to, everything was on place when the shakedown started. Half an hour before the shakedown, my gearbox was just finished and tested that everything works. And that was a really last minute call.
Whole setup is so incredible looking. I couldn't say anything when I arrived. The speed was there, which was straight away strengthened our team and told us that our preparation has done pretty carefully, and our confidence was immediately far higher. I would say Monte Carlo was one of the most difficult rally for us because of condition, because of our preparation time for that rally. It was many question marks.
I didn't expect someone. I just go out there for Monte and let's see what we can do with a sensible approach. And at the end of the day, it did pay off.
We couldn't believe. It was absolutely everybody surprised, and everybody so pleased about the drivers and how well they could concentrate. Everybody concentrated so carefully. I'm very proud about the guys, everybody who were working. They saw the atmosphere were very, very positive, and we had our complete concept in the service area was really we wanted to bring people in the service to see what we are doing, and we will continue that kind of way with our operation.
Hello, how you doing?
For me, building a rally car, and it's nothing away from the engineers, but it's not, in a way, it's not rocket science. It's a car. But just build a team from zero, find all the people, find everything. That piles up to be like a massive task. And even how good your car is, if you don't have a good team behind it, you're in trouble.
I don't like to lose. I don't like to lose. However, but we ready to win. So maybe the old fan of the rally is maybe support us. Our result is going to be more than we expected.
I want to thanks a lot Japan. I want to thank Akio-san to trust our project. We are here to continue going flat out forward to make ever better cars. We are very competitive people and we want to win. Surely we do our best for that. And journey continues.